Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishnah Yomi, Masechet Sotah. We are up to Perek Gimel, Mishnah Aleph. Today's Mishnayot should be Le'elu Nishmat, Neria ben Svetlana, Ranbayev, Eliyahu ben Burcha, Israel of Chana bat Miriam, Sason ben Raya, and Yoshua ben Shifra, Menuchatam began Eden, Amen, and Le'avdi ben Chaim Lechaim, v'derefua shelemav, Daniel Shalom ben Rosa, betoch Shah Cholei Israel. We learned in chapter 2, Mishnah 1, that the husband brings the mincha offering, the minchat kinaot, to the temple in a basket of palm fiber and puts it into the Sotah's hand. While she supports it with her hand, the Kohen prepares the bitter water that we saw in chapter 2, Mishnah 2. He reads her the oath and curse, and she responds, Amen, Amen. That was chapter 2, Mishnah 5. And then he writes the verses in the parchment, chapter 2, Mishnah 3 and 4. After those procedures, the mincha is offered. According to one opinion cited in the next Mishnah, she also drinks the water before the mincha is offered. The Mishnah begins, Haya noteret minchatah mitoch kfifa mitzrit v'notnah letoch kli sharet. The husband takes her mincha offering out of the basket of palm fiber and puts it into a service vessel to sanctify it. Even if the husband is not a Kohen, he can sanctify the mincha by putting it in a sacred service vessel, a kli sharet. A Kohen is not needed for the service of the mincha until after it has been sanctified. V'notnah al yadah, he then puts it back into her hand. V'chohen maniach yado mitachteh umnifah. And the Kohen places his hand underneath hers and waves the offering together with her, meaning they move it forward, backward, up, and down. Unlike most other mincha offerings, the Sotah's mincha requires waving. It must be waved by the Kohen together with the Sotah. And that is in a Mishnah Aleph. Mishnah Bet begins, Hanif v'yigish, the Kohen together with the Sotah waves the mincha, and then he takes the vessel from her hand and brings it to the southwestern corner of the altar. He touches the vessel against the southwestern corner of the altar. This and the following rituals are done with most mincha offerings. Kamatz v'iktir, he then removes the kometz and burns it on the altar. Removing the kometz is a difficult procedure that is done as follows. The Kohen folds his 3 middle fingers over his palm, forming a scoop, and then puts his hand into the mincha, scooping up some of it in the space between his fingers and palm. He then uses his thumb and little finger to remove the pieces that stick out of the sides. The portion remaining in his hand is called the kometz, and this process is called kemitzah, as it teaches us in Menachot, chapter 1, Mishnah 2. Kamatz v'iktir, like we said, he then removes the kometz and burns it on the altar. V'shar ne'echal kohanim, and the rest of the mincha is eaten by the kohanim. The Mishnah cites a dispute about the order of the rituals. Hayam mashka v'achakach makriv et minchatah. First, the Kohen gives her the water to drink, and then he offers her mincha, waving, bringing the vessel to the altar, removing the kometz and burning it on the altar. Now, in Sefer Bamidbar, chapter 5, the Torah states the following sequence. The Kohen erases the writing on the parchment, that's verse 23. He gives her the water to drink, verse 24. He waves the mincha and offers it on the altar, verse 26. However, verse 26 puts the last 2 steps in reverse order. He burns it on the altar, and afterward he gives the Sotah the water to drink. This Tana holds that verses 23 to 25 teach the order of the rituals, so she drinks the water before the mincha is offered. As for verse 26, he interprets the phrase, and afterward he gives the Sotah the water to drink, as referring to the procedure of erasing mentioned in verse 23, so it means that drinking the water is the next step after the erasing. Although the sequence was already stated in verses 23 and 24, it is repeated here in order to teach a new law, namely that the passage must be erased completely before the water may be drunk. Rabbi Shimon says, Makriv et minchatah v'achagach hayam mashkah. First he offers her mincha, and then he gives her the water to drink. Shenemar says in Bamidbar, chapter 5, verse 26, V'achar yashket ha'isha et hamayim. And afterward he shall give the water the woman to drink. And afterward he shall give the woman the water to drink. Nevertheless, Rabbi Shimon agrees that if he first gave her the water to drink and then offered her mincha, the offering is valid. According to Rabbi Shimon, it is verse 26 that teaches the order of the rituals. First the Kohen offers the mincha and then he gives her the water to drink. Verses 24 and 25, which state the opposite, teach that if the order is reversed and the Kohen mistakenly gave her the water to drink before he offered the mincha is still valid. And the Rab does tell us, Rabbi Shimon, the halacha does not follow the opinion of Rabbi Shimon. And that is the Rabotai of today's Mishnah Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.